Okay, are you ready?
Ready for what?
To get a little spooked, we are diving deep into man, myth, and magic. The Illustrated Encyclopedia of Mythology, Religion, and the Unknown.
Oh, wow, that is quite a tile. Lots to unpack there.
Yeah, and it's a massive book, too, literally.
I bet.
And figuratively, it covers everything. Like, I don't know.
Everything.
Okay, maybe not everything, but like pretty much. Even stuff like Abbott's Bromley, have you ever heard of that?
Habits Bromley. Rings a bell, but...
It's some kind of ancient English ritual. That's all I know. It's in there.
Okay, well, yeah, this encyclopedia covers a huge range of topics. Like, we're talking magic, woodcraft, angels and demons,
Getting spookier.
fortune-telling, mythology, and folklore.
My favorite.
And then, and rites of passage, symbolism,
Okay, this is a lot.
religious practices,
Yeah,
paranormal phenomena,
that's what I'm talking about.
and last but not least, mysticism.
Okay, wow. So we're going to need like several deep dives for this.
Right.
All right, so out of all that, what really caught my eye was
What?
legendary lands and beasts. Tell me, are there any like really good examples in there?
Well, there are a few standouts for sure.
Like what?
Well, we got your classic Yeti, always a good time.
Yeah, who doesn't love a good Yeti?
Then there's the legend of Atlantis, always a mystery.
Oh yeah, Atlantis is cool.
Of course, no encyclopedia would be complete without dragons.
Dragons, yes.
And how could we forget mermaids?
Ooh, mermaids, now we're talking.
Yeah, and there's a lot about famous figures too, like King Arthur and Dracula.
Dracula. Okay, now that is scary.
Right.
So I got to ask, what about the darker side of things like black magic, the devil, vampires, all
Oh, yeah. The encyclopedia dives headfirst into all that.
Okay, good.
There are some pretty chilling accounts of black magic rituals.
No way.
Yeah, and it delves into the devil's role in different beliefs.
That's intense.
And, of course, all the blood-sucking lore of vampires. I mean, come on.
This encyclopedia has it all, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
Okay, well, since we're on the topic of scary stuff, one of the major themes is witches and witchcraft. So I got to ask, do you believe in witches?
Well, let's just say the encyclopedia covers the historical witch persecutions in Europe.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a dark time.
And, of course, it delves into the Salem Witch Trials, too.
Okay, so maybe no comment on the belief part.
You got it.
So tell me, does it actually mention any spells or rituals, like real ones?
Oh, yeah, there are sections on stuff like magical squares.
Magical squares, what's that?
It's a whole thing. We can get into it later.
Okay, right.
And then there's love magic.
Love magic, huh? Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, it gets pretty wild.
I'm picturing this giant book,
Oh, yeah.
Like how much information are we talking about?
Well, it's 20 volumes.
20 volumes.
Yeah, and the file size, get this, is 638.8 megabytes.
638.8 megabytes. That's insane. That's a lot of magic.
It really is. It's really interesting, like going through this encyclopedia.
Yeah.
It's not just about, like spooky monsters and spells and stuff.
There's more to it.
Yeah, like way more. It kind of gets at this like deep human need,
What do you mean?
Like to believe in something bigger beyond the ordinary.
Ooh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like why are we so drawn to myths and legends? You ever think about that?
I guess I never really thought about it.
Like, why do we crave those stories? The spooky ones, the supernatural ones.
Yeah, okay, I get it. It's like
they give us a glimpse into, like, our collective imagination,
Yeah.
A way to, like, deal with the big questions, life, death, all that.
Yeah, it's the big stuff.
Exactly. In this encyclopedia, it's like it reflects all that, like, those anxieties, those hopes that, like, have been with us forever.
Wow. Okay, yeah, that is deep.
Right.
So it's like more than just entertainment. It's like almost...
It's like a mirror to, like, the human soul,
Okay, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and what's even more interesting?
Why?
These myths and legends, they haven't just haunted us, they've, like, shaped us.
Shaped us? What do you mean?
Like, they're woven into our culture, everything, like art, literature,
Okay, yeah.
music, even, like, how we see the cosmos.
Well, hold on. You're saying, like, those old stories, the ones that scared our ancestors?
Yeah.
Those have, like, actually influenced, like, civilization.
Absolutely. Think about it. Like, dragons.
Okay, dragons.
They're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, ancient China, medieval Europe, everywhere.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Right. One creature, so many cultures. It's fascinating.
Yeah, okay, I see your point, but, like,
Yeah.
what is it about dragons,
Well, I think they, like, embody this duality,
Duality.
Yeah, like this tension between creation and destruction, light and dark, good and evil.
Yeah, okay.
Like the untamed forces of nature, scary but awesome, all at once.
You're blowing my mind here.
It's not just dragons. Think about it. Vampires, witches, all those supernatural beings.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They tap into those deep fears, those desires, that make us human.
So it's like...
They're like keys to like the hidden parts of our minds, helping us deal with like love, loss, power, all those big themes.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. It's like these myths aren't just stories.
Right.
They're like
blueprints for understanding like what it means to be human.
Exactly.
They give us a way to talk about those mysteries. The ones that like logic can't explain.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's through those stories that we face our fears, our dreams, and like figure out what it means to be alive.
Okay, well, we started with spooky creatures.
Uh-huh.
And now we're talking about like the essence of humanity.
That's the power of myth and legend, right?
It's like it speaks to that part of us that wants something more, something magical, something beyond the everyday.
Exactly. It's about yearning for something bigger.
Okay, this is all very cool, but like, why should our listeners care?
Oh, they should care. Trust me.
Why?
Because believe it or not, these stories, they're like more relevant now than ever.
Really?
They offer a framework like for understanding our own experiences, our own beliefs, even the challenges we face, like as a species,
Like the big problems.
Yeah, by looking at the myths of the past, we can get insights into the present and maybe, just maybe, catch a glimpse of the future.
Whoa, okay, now that is a spooky thought.
Right.
So you're saying, like, understanding those old stories can help us understand where we are and where we're going.
Precisely. It's like a roadmap.
A roadmap.
Yeah, guiding us through life, helping us navigate, love, loss, good versus evil, all that.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just about the past.
Right.
It's about using the past to
inform our present, to shape our future.
Okay, wait, are you saying, like, myths can help us solve problems?
I don't know about solving problems, but they offer wisdom. Like timeless wisdom, cautionary tales, inspiring examples of courage, resilience, the power of the human spirit.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
By learning from the past, maybe we can avoid making the same mistakes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And maybe, just maybe, forge a better path forward.
Okay, I like that. But this encyclopedia, it's like a maze.
It is pretty huge.
How do we even navigate it,
That's where the adventure begins.
Adventure?
Yeah, it's not about just reading, it's about, like, engaging with it.
Okay, how do we do that?
Ask yourself, what myths resonate with you? Which stories spark your imagination?
Ooh.
Which ones give you chills, make you question everything?
Like that.
What characters, what themes speak to, like, your deepest fears, your desires?
It's like choose your own adventure, but with myths.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong answer. It's about, like, personal interpretation.
Finding meaning.
Yeah, meaning in the stories that speak to you, like a treasure hunt for wisdom.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm ready to dig in, but where do we start?
Well, you mentioned you like the darker side of things.
Oh, you know me so well.
Maybe it's time to delve into, like, black magic.
Ooh, yes, black magic. Let's do it.
Explore those stories, the ones that have, like, chilled people for centuries.
Lead the way. I'm ready for anything. All right, so black magic. Here we go. Ready to get a little spooked.
Oh, definitely. This is where things get really interesting. You ready to dive into the shadows?
Oh, always. I've always been drawn to the forbidden, like those secrets that whisper in the dark. It's just, I don't know, it's exhilarating.
I get it. There's something about black magic. It's like a magnet for our fears, our curiosity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you shouldn't look, but you can't help yourself.
Right. It's like that forbidden fruit, you just got to take a bite.
It makes you wonder, though, like, what is it about that kind of power,
That's a good question. What do you think?
I don't know. Is it just ambition? Or is it something deeper, like a need for control? Or maybe even like a way to find meaning in a world that doesn't make sense?
It's probably a bit of everything, right? And, the interesting thing is the definition of black magic, it's changed so much over time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like, what was considered black magic back then might not be seen the same way today.
Exactly. It all depends on the context, the culture, the time period.
Like, think about the Salem Witch Trials. Those poor women accused of witchcraft just because people were scared and didn't understand.
Yeah, the Salem Witch Trials, that's a classic example of how fear of the unknown can turn into something really dangerous.
It's a reminder that, we got to be careful not to let fear control us, to think critically.
Absolutely. And to be compassionate, to try to understand other perspectives, even if they seem strange or scary to us.
Okay, so we've talked about black magic, but what about the big guy, the devil? What's his role in all of this?
Oh, the devil. He's a fascinating figure, isn't he? He's like this archetype of everything we fear, temptation, rebellion, the shadow self.
Yeah, and his image, it's changed so much over the centuries. Like, he's always adapting, always reflecting our deepest fears.
Exactly. He's a shapeshifter, always morphing into whatever scares us the most.
It's like he's a reflection of us, like those dark impulses we all have, but try to hide.
Yeah, and maybe by facing those fears, those dark parts of ourselves, we can actually learn to understand them, maybe even overcome them.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty deep. It's like all these myths and legends, even the scary ones, they're like tools for self-discovery.
Right. They force us to confront those uncomfortable truths about ourselves, about human nature.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the takeaway for our listeners? What should they do with all this information about black magic, the devil, all that?
Well, I wouldn't recommend running out and buying a bunch of garlic and holy water or, joining a coven or anything.
Okay, good.
It's about finding that balance.
Balance.
Yeah, between curiosity and discernment, don't let fear paralyze you, but also don't be naive.
So, be open-minded, but also critical.
Exactly. Embrace that sense of wonder, that thirst for knowledge, but always question, always think for yourself.
I love that curiosity over fear, wonder over superstition. That's the perfect way to put it.
And, who knows? Maybe you'll discover a little magic along the way.
Ooh, now that's a thought. All right, everyone, that's all for this deep dive into man, myth, and magic. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and as always, sweet dreams.